Hey, welcome back. So in the last video, we talked about the 4 most common types of SQL joins. Do you remember what those were? That's right. We got the inner join, left join, right join, and the full outer join, where we take everything, pull it together. So in the last video, we didn't have any concrete examples to work with. So that's what we have over here, and we're going to discuss that. And I think this is really going to help solidify your understanding of the different types of joins. So let's get to it. So if you're looking right here, this is the page we're using for our, so this worksheet's got it's got a page for every type of join that we're going to discuss today. And this worksheet is the inner join. But before I talk about the inner join, I want to just give you an overview of this data. This is a sample set I made up. It's got 2 tables. So our left table is going to be the currency table. And the key we're going to use to join is going to be this 3-digit ISO code. And then we have our second table, which is the contact table. So once again, we got our 3-digit ISO code. And the information between them is different. One is concerned with the country name and the currency used in that country. And then the other one is going to be a contact for each country and that contact's email. So what we want to do is do a mashup of the 2 tables, and that's where we're going to play with the joins. So let's get into it and talk about the effect of each join when we merge these 2 tables. So looking at the table on the left, in this inner join example, looking at the table on the left, we can see that we've got 13 different rows, and the table on the right has 14 different rows. Now, there's not a match on every single currency code, right? So using Excel highlighting the duplicates, where we have the light red, that means that we didn't find a match. So what we're gonna do is use an inner join, and we're gonna match. We're going to pull data where every column is matched, right? So this is going to be the most restrictive join, and we're going to have the least amount of results from this inner join. So let's see how that works, right? So using Excel, and I don't want to, I used Excel to actually simulate what an inner join would look like in Excel. But I don't want to get into this formula because I could go in a completely different direction. And today I really want to focus on the the demonstration of how the joins work. So if you look right here, this is how an inner join would work in SQL, and it pulls the currency code, right? Everywhere where there's an exact match. So the CNY is matching, BRL is matching, but you can see the table on the left, there's no exact match for IDR, there's no exact for THB. On the table on the right, there's no exact match for the Korean won or this AOA ISO code. We don't have exact matches for those. So when you look at the results of the join table, there's nothing there for those. So it's pulling data from both tables, the full record. It's pulling the full record for only where there's an exact match. And that is how the inner join, or if you just type in join in the clause, that's how that's going to look. Okay, so that's our first join, right? So now let's move over to the next tab and talk about how the left join would work, given the same data sets. So here's our table on the left, our contact table, and here is, here is our table on the left, our currency table, and then here is our contact table. So you can see same 13 rows and the same 14 rows in the second table. So we are now going to use a left join. And what that's going to do is say, show me all the keys from the left and all the row information there, and then only pull where it matches from the table on the right. And let's demonstrate what happens there. So as you can see, the red, where it's highlighted red, you can see that we have all 13 rows, right? So then it's going to use its left join, and it's going to pull where there were matches on this currency code, and we're going to pull the data in to complete the records only where there was a match from the table, from the contact table. So you can see this is in the red. If it's highlighted, it pulled from our table on the left, and then on the right, you can see that the purple line's pulled in. So that's how the left join worked effectively. So try to think about what the right join is going to look like before I click on that tab. Okay? Did you think it was going to look something like this? Right? So what we have here is we have the 14. So yeah, we have the 14 rows from this table on the right. Right? So that's why this is highlighted purple. We pulled all that in. And now we're going to say, show me from the table on the left, our table 1, show me only where there's matched rows. So there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 rows that matched on the table on the right. And that's why the information is highlighted red. So you can see you're kind of missing country information and you're missing currency information for all these countries, that have the null value for the country name and currency name. However, since it's a right join and we're using a right join, we're pulling in all the email information from this table on the right. So it pulled all the records in from the table on the right. So that's how the right join worked. So the last join is going to be a full join. So let's go take a look at that one right now. All right, so here's our full join, right? Same 2 tables. We've got the currency table highlighted red, the contact table highlighted purple. When we go to do a full outer join or full join, when we go to do that, it's going to say, hey, pull me all the keys, right, from the country table, or the currency table, and then from the contact table. So pull every single one. So that's why we have all the red, all the blue, all the purple. So we have 19 total rows. And then we have these 19 total rows. And then you can see right here, so from the table on the right, we have we have some incomplete records. And then from the table on the left, we also have some incomplete records. And you can kind of see where you're missing, you're missing completeness. So that's why I said in the previous video, using a full outer join is really good for if you're trying to audit information in your database, because you can see where the information is falling out, and you can get a total picture of all your records. So that is how the full outer join works. So if you think this was helpful, this video and the last video, you should probably like and subscribe, because I've got another video coming up where I'm going to pull this all together and finally dive into the SQL, and you can see how the SQL joins would work effectively in Microsoft SQL Server. So